We now honor an imaginative real estate developer. In my second home, living in North Carolina, commuting to Chicago, I see his footprints, his handprints, his influence upon that great city. Not just because he's an imaginative developer, but because he's a philanthropist. He built much of the city of Chicago, but not just in brick and mortar, in spirit and in culture.
Al Robin was born to immigrant parents in Cook County, Illinois in 1912. Being the dreamer he was probably helped Al get through the Depression after his father, a builder, lost all his money in the early 1930s. Al and his father opened a shoe store, but were just about able to salvage their original investment. Then Al decided to seek his fortune in South America, but he couldn't find any work on a southbound ship. So he went to work for a Chicago real estate firm until he could start his own business. Al began with a contract to build a $125 fence. And before long, the Robin Construction Company was developing and remodeling retail stores for many of the large chains throughout Chicago and the Midwest. Over the years, Al has been involved in every phase of real estate development. He co-developed Sandburg Village, named for the famous poet, and built the Imperial Towers on Lakeshore Drive, which was the largest apartment complex in the Midwest in the early 60s. Al Robin has achieved business success that few enjoy, yet has experienced personal agony over an accident that has disabled his daughter and a life-threatening illness that has incapacitated his wife. His composure in response to these difficult situations serves as a shining example of faith and determination as he continues to reach out to those in need with his amazing energy. An avid art collector, Al has given $1.5 million to the Art Institute of Chicago, where a new gallery is named for his family. He also helped finance a campus extension for Roosevelt University in the Chicago suburb of Arlington Heights, now called the Albert A. Robin Campus. But closest to his heart is the Robin Scholarship Fund, which he established in 1983 with $1.5 million of his own money to help needy youngsters attend college. 75 students have earned college degrees with his financial aid, and 100 are now studying at various colleges of their choice. For his accomplishments in business, as well as his contributions to the arts and education, we are proud to welcome into the Horatio Alger Association of Distinguished Americans, Albert A. Robin.
Presenting the award to Mr. Robin are Horatio Alger Association members James R. Moffett and Manfred Steinfeld.
At least it fits. I think the wonderful men that have been honored with me tonight will probably be remembered by most of us, or all of us, I hope, for many years. It's contrary to a young man that I knew some time ago who was getting up on a podium like this, and as he approached it, he fell and sprawled out on the podium. And I looked at him and I said later on, you didn't have to fall. What was that all about? He said, well, I found out when you do a thing like that in front of a big audience, you're remembered for a long time. Well, anyway, I'm glad to be here. My fellow honorees, it's indeed a pleasure to be here and accept this prestigious award. And I'm really deeply moved to be an honorary with so many outstanding Americans. And tonight, as I evening of reflection, as I look back, I realize how much my early years are characterized by my drive to be successful. I learned as a youth how important it was to have a job that was fun and rarely succeed in life unless you enjoy what you're doing. Someone once said, if you build castles in the air, your work need not be lost. And that is where they should be. Now put the foundations under them. And I've built a few castles in my life, and one that I hope will stand forever is a special scholarship fund that I created in 1983 for youngsters who wanted to go to college, but whose families just didn't have the money, and whose educations would have been cut short and probably would have never achieved an education outside of high school. And it was my deepest wish that these youngsters and others who came from disadvantaged families would be able to pursue a college education. I'm reminded of the proverb that says, by nature all individuals are alike, and by education they become different. It's a source of enormous pride that as of this summer, over 100 of my kids will have finished college, ones of their choice, and by this fall I will have 110 students in colleges of their choice all over the country. It's a privilege. It's really a privilege to give these bright, talented young men and women the foundation to pursue their own dreams, and in a country where even the impossible is possible. I only wish I had a crystal ball to see the wonderful experiences that were ahead of them, and perhaps one of them will find a cure for cancer, or another may become an educator and teach others. And tonight I'm blessed to have so many of my family members in the audience, two of my sisters, Roz and Ruth, my two sons, Steve and Richard, and their lovely wives, three of my beautiful granddaughters, Bonnie, Jennifer, and Rochelle, plus many of my close relatives and friends. And I want to share this honor with you, because without your love and support, I would not be standing here. I remember that as my own children were growing up, I tried to instill in them the importance of being a good person. I'm proud to say that they learned this lesson well. To my grandchildren, I say, be happy, follow your own dreams, wherever they may lead you, and when times are difficult and problems seem insurmountable, just never give up. Thank you very much.